we're talking about Jerry Reed. One of the things we figured out that there's some of these Jerry Reed tunes that neither of us play. We don't play them. Both play them, but we don't play them alike. And in fact, Jerry didn't play them alike either, did he? In fact, this one we were talking about doing here is called the Blue Finger, and I learned it from Chet from one of his recordings when I went and played it for him, and he said, no, not like that. That's too hard. Do it this way. So I got better at that, and then I thought, well, I'll play it for Jerry and see what the deal is, you know. So I'm playing it for Jerry, and I looked up, and he said, what's that? And I said, well, that's a Blue Finger. Never heard it. But Chet says you wrote it. I don't think so. So I go back to Chet, and I say, Jerry said he didn't. Oh, he wrote it. He said he was in my office one day, and the cassette player was sitting next to it. I'm on the phone, and this used to happen all the time. When Chet had to return calls, he always let to have a guitar player there to play, and if they did something interesting, he would say, excuse me, let me put you on hold a moment. He would put whoever it was on hold and say, do that again, you know. And that was Chet's idea of returning phone calls. But I'm sure this happened. So Jerry's in the office. Chet realizes it's getting interesting, so he hits the record button. That's Jerry composing Blue Finger. The reason he doesn't remember it is he never played it again. And, I mean, would you? But the thing that's so amazing to me is that Blue Finger, and you'll hear it in a second here, is such a cool tune, and guitar players love to play this tune. This is one of those tunes that if I go to a workshop, and I can get a room full of people who no way they've ever played a tune this hard, and you get them about 4 bars into it, and they're so hooked that they just get better. They've never played this tune, you know. And so it is, it's a great guitar player's tune, but to think that Jerry wrote this and then didn't even remember it, it's like, you gotta be kidding. So, we both kind of know. At least here's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Here's just the tune.
Give them the basics.
It's got this bass line. And so forth, right? And then it adds a little tune on top of that. Like that. And so Chet recorded it, and that's the way I learned it. Matter of fact, when Chet recorded it, you were snapping your fingers there because Chet put a microphone in his foot and had his foot the same place John was, you know, snapping his finger. And so when I learned it, I kind of did the same thing with I just kind of used some spare fingers, you know, to make it sound like I really wanted to do this and couldn't, because I couldn't get back. And also, I always thought this tune would really go well with a hat too. Don't you think this looks like a hat song? You know?
You could even be a trombone and a hat song.
That's right. That's it. Could be. So, so I learned it from Chet, and then after you learn one of these tunes a while, you can't help but want to noodle around with the stuff that's in this tune. So I said, why don't I play it? And then I want to hear what John does with it, because he hears a completely different thing when he hears Blue Finger, and you'll hear how versatile Jerry's tunes are. So, Blue Finger A, Blue Finger B.
You're here. Yeah, I was sitting around with the thing one time, and this hasn't been too long, but about maybe almost a year ago, I was I don't know why I picked that tune out of the blue, but I just started playing it. And I like combining that tune with another tune called Drive-In. And Drive-In is normally slower than this one a little bit, and I usually play this one a little too fast, and I was trying to goof around with them and try to find that tempo where they both worked. And anyway, in the midst of fiddling with it, I was driving somewhere down the road in my car, and I heard, I was just listening to the jazz station. I was listening to some kind of funk drummer doing a rhythm that I thought was really cool. And a lot of people don't know that I was actually originally a drummer. I still have, even though I can't play drums at all, really, I love cool rhythms and things. And if I ever were to come back as a drummer, I would have to play funk. I mean, that would be it for me.
We'll watch for that.
Yeah. And, so anyway, I'm going down the road and I'm listening to this beat, and I don't know why it happened to cross my mind, but I thought, this thing is going, that kind of thing. And I'm listening to this rhythm and I'm going, I wonder, what, just picture that with Blue Figure. Doing it in that rhythm. And so, I don't know. So here's kind of what I came up.